So one of the questions that a lot of people asked me is whether to go with Lovable.dev or Cursor AI. So both of them are AI-powered coding tools that helps you build apps just by prompting, but they're now confused as to which one to choose. And if you're in the same boat, this is the only video that you'll have to watch. So today in this video, I'll compare both Lovable and Cursor so that you can find which one is suitable for your particular use case and who should use Lovable and who should use Cursor. And in this video, I'll actually try to build the exact same app using Cursor and also Lovable. And along the way, I'll also explain all the core features that both of these platforms have. And by the end of the video, you can take a decision for yourself. And I'll also give my personal opinion on the same as well. And now, if that sounds interesting, without wasting any more time, let's get started. So here I have opened up the official website of both Cursor and Lovable. And now one of the main and the biggest difference of using Lovable and Cursor is actually the way you use it. So if you're about to use Lovable, the thing is that you can head over to lovable.dev or click the link in the description below, sign up for a new account, and you'll find an input box towards the center of the screen, and you just type what you want to build and hit enter and you can get going. So basically, you'll be using the entire Lovable app right inside of your web browser and you don't have to download and install any separate application. And now when it comes to Cursor side of things, Cursor is actually a AI-powered code editor, similar to VS Code. In fact, Cursor is actually a VS Code fork, but with an AI twist, or let's say you could say added AI capabilities. So basically how it works is that you will have to head over to cursor.com, and after that, depending on your computer, you will have to download and install the Cursor IDE. And as of now, it is available for macOS, Windows and Linux. So if you're using a Chromebook or let's say some other PC or OS, you pretty much can't use Cursor. So that is one important thing that you'll have to keep in mind. And basically the flow is that you will click on one of these buttons, depending on your computer operating system, you download the installer and install it on your computer. And once installed, you can simply go ahead and open it up. So let me open it up real quick. So there you go. Here I have opened up Cursor and that is how you use it. So basically the way in which you access both of this platform itself is very different. Lovable is completely web-based, while Cursor is something that you have to download and install on your computer. So that is the first thing. And next up, if you ask me what people should use Lovable and what people should use Cursor, it is also actually very different is what I guess. So if you're about to build an app in Lovable, the thing is that you're pretty much locked to only one framework, and that is React. So all the apps that you build using Lovable will be having React for its frontend. And as far as backend is concerned, you'll be working with Supabase. For authentication, database, edge functions, storage, API routes, pretty much everything, you'll be making use of Supabase. So whatever app or website you build using Lovable, you'll be building it in React and with Supabase as a backend. And if you want to, you can actually use different backend and authentication services and all that. But right out of the box, Lovable only supports Supabase and that is what you will be using. And if you want to use a different platform for database or let's say authentication, you totally can, but you will lose out on the seamless integration that Lovable already has with Supabase. So that is one important thing that you'll have to keep in mind. And yet another thing is that you can only build web apps using Lovable. And now as far as Cursor is concerned, Cursor is actually a AI-powered code editor and you can pretty much develop whatever kind of app or whatever that you want to build, Cursor can handle it. Whether you want to create a web app, you want to create a mobile app, you want to create an app for macOS or Windows or whatever be that you want to build using Cursor, Cursor can do it all. So that is one important thing to keep in mind. If you want to build a web app, you can actually choose between Lovable or Cursor. Or if you're planning to create a mobile app, then Cursor AI is the only option. And not just that, let's say you're about to create a SaaS or a web app. And now if you want to explore different options, for example, in Lovable, we only get to use React for the front end, right? But let's say you want to create, let's say a Next.js based project, or let's say you want to create a Vue.js project or Svelte or Astro, Remix. If you want to try options like this, the only option that you have is to use Cursor, or otherwise I believe Bolt supports a different variety of frameworks as well. And now if you want a separate backend or if you want to maintain a separate server, if you want to use Node.js, Express and create a separate one, then the only option that you have is Cursor. So that itself is the fundamental difference between both of these. And now what I'll do is I'll go ahead and give a simple prompt to both Lovable and Cursor. And we will actually go ahead and analyze the flow of creating an app. And along the way, I'll also explain more about the fundamental differences between Lovable and Cursor and also all the important features. But before that, let me quickly take a second to talk about our sponsors for today's video, Omnisend. If you are in e-commerce, you might already know that automated emails and SMS workflows are gold. In fact, in 2024, automated emails delivered 37% of all email-driven sales, but came from just 2% of the sends. talk about efficiency. Omnisend is an all-in-one e-commerce oriented email marketing platform that helps you to drive more revenue with less efforts. Whether you are just starting out or running a growing store, Omnisend has pretty much everything that you will need. And what makes Omnisend shine, you ask? Well, you get all of it. Email, SMS, push notifications, and even AI workflows all from one single dashboard. Recent updates lets you generate content and segment with AI, test subject lines via A/B test, automatically picking up winners, and autofill personalized fallbacks so nothing ever looks off. And the best part, it seamlessly integrates with all the platforms like Shopify, WooCommerce, Wix, WordPress, and even BigCommerce. And now to quickly get started, all you gotta do is to click the first link in the description below and head over to omnisend.com and sign up for a new account. And now once logged in, you can quickly create a new campaign by giving details like subject line, name, language, etc. And you can even let AI write everything for you. Yes, Omnisend even comes with AI integration as well. Next up, you can select a template that you would like to use and customize it using Omnisend's intuitive editor. And once done, you can make the campaign live in just a single click. And here's my favorite feature, automation workflow. If you move to the automation tab, you'll be able to create workflows for abandoned carts or checkout, order confirmation, order follow-up, product reviews, and whatnot. And not just these, you can even configure Omnisend for sending SMS and push notification as well. So it is indeed an all-in-one platform. And if you want to check out Omnisend, just click the first link in the description below. And now back to the video. So the plan is to create a simple OCR app. So I'm planning to create an app where I can upload a photo of, let's say, a page of a book or some written text, and now our website will process the same and give the text in copyable form. Basically, you are going to pass image with some text in it, which is not directly copyable, of course, but our app will use OCR to extract the text and give it us and gives the option to download or let's say copy the app. So that is basically the app that I want to build. So what I'll do is I'll go ahead and put my cursor in here and I'll go ahead and say, I want to create a OCR app where users can upload an image with some text, and our app will process the image and extract the text and display the same on the screen along with the option to download it in TXT format and also copy the same. So this is the basic prompt I'll give, and as you can see, everything is nicely filled in for me. So I'll copy the same and now I'll click on this send button. Similarly, I'll open cursor and I'll click on open project and I can create a new folder. Maybe let's say name it OCR, OCR, hit enter and I'll open it up. And in this case, I actually want to create, let's say, a Next.js based project. So I have options for that. And for that, what I'll do is I'll open terminal and okay, let's ask AI to install Next.js as well. So I'll paste the exact same prompt in here. And after that, I'll say, please install Next.js and then proceed. Okay, so basically we want a Next.js based project and now I'll click on send. So basically when you open cursor for the first time, this is going to be the kind of interface that you will see. And if you click on this button right here, you can enable the AI pane and you can find an input box in here and you just enter the prompt in here and hit enter and the AI start working on the same. And now yet another cool thing is that, okay, it is now asking us the permission to install the latest version of Next.js. I'll click on run. And now the thing is that you can actually select the specific model that you want to use to develop your app. For example, in the agent mode, if you click on this drop down menu right here, I can now select the model that I want to use to write code. For example, here we have GPT-5, GPT-5, Fast, Claude 4 Sonnet, Gemini 2.5 Pro. And if I click on this add models button, I can find even more in here. For example, here we have Claude 4.1 Opus, O3, we have 3.7 Sonnet, Cursor Small, GPT-4o, O4 Mini, Grok 3, Grok 4. I mean, you have a wide variety of options, and this is something that you actually miss when using Lovable. In Lovable, you don't get that option to select the specific model that you want to use. So that is also one more key thing that you'll have to keep in mind. And now it is actually planning to use tesseract.js for extracting the textual content. I'll click on run. So basically, this is also one more fundamental feature. And now let's just go ahead and explore the UI a little bit. So towards the left side here, you can find all the files within your project. So these are all the files that you have for our Next.js based project. It is now asking us the permission to install shadcn and we can click on run. And now if I click on this button right here, I can find all the extensions that I can add to Cursor. So as I mentioned earlier, Cursor is actually a VS Code fork. That means all the extensions and pretty much everything that is available for VS Code is available in Cursor as well. I'll click on add. And now if I come back to Lovable, so this is the UI. Basically, we started with a prompt and now the AI is writing and creating all these files. And if you want to give any follow-up prompts and want to, let's say, make any changes, you can explain that in here. And now if you click on this plus button right here, you can actually attach an image and then ask the AI to build something similar for the UI or something like that. and towards the top I can find the GitHub icon. So if I click on this option right here, and if I click on this connect GitHub option, it will open up a pop-up, and now I can connect this particular project into GitHub. So Lovable will automatically create a new repository in my GitHub account and push all the content to GitHub. And in fact, I've actually created a video about this GitHub's two-way sync feature in Lovable that allows you to work on the exact same project from Lovable and Cursor, like best of both worlds. And if you want to watch that, you can actually click the I button or like link in the description below. So you can, if you want to, you can actually watch that. So basically the idea here is that if you want to push all the code to your private repo, you can do it from Lovable. And again, the same you can do from Cursor as well, but you'll have to install the GitHub extension or you'll have to use the CLI in here. So that is basically the idea. And now, okay, I'll click on run. So there you go. Lovable is actually done creating the app, and this right here is the UI of the app that Lovable has created. And again, if you want to make any specific UI changes, you can actually do it. And if you want to, you can even drop an image and ask the AI to make changes based on the image as well. And now just as to make sure the functionality of the app work, I'll simply drag and drop an image. So here I have downloaded an image from a stock image library. This effect is actually good. And if I drop it in here, it says extracting text from image. We have that nice loading effect, and hopefully we should get the output. Is it supposed to take this long? Okay, in which ways, Cursor is still working on the same. And one more thing that I want to tell you is that the targeted user base for Lovable and Cursor is kind of different, is what I would say. Because Lovable is a app builder that abstracts a lot of these technicalities away, okay? And if you ask me if that is a good thing, well, it is totally a good thing, but not for everyone. So if you want full control over every single aspect of the app that you're about to build, including the tech stack choices, the framework, and individual, things, then of course Cursor is the option. But Cursor gives you complete freedom and total control over everything, and it is very versatile as well. So the abstraction is kind of taken away, and you can actually choose to use whatever tech stack that you want, whatever framework you want, and you have pretty much total control. And now, if that is a good thing you ask, well, it is actually a good thing, but not for everyone. As far as a non-technical person is concerned, Lovable will make more sense because they don't have to deal with any technicalities. They just give prompt and get going from there, and the AI will do everything. But when you use Cursor AI, to a certain degree, Cursor is actually giving you more options, and it can actually quickly overwhelm users. And that is only one thing that you will realize once you start using both of these platforms. And you can build your app however you want to, and it is a good thing and a bad thing at the same time. And it depends on the user, the end user. And now it seems like we have some problem, the app that Lovable has created. So it just hung up. Maybe I can open it up in a new tab, and let's try it in there. So I'll add the exact same image. It says extracting text from image. So seems like we have a problem with this one for now, but that's okay. We can totally fix it easily. But seems like Cursor is also done, and I'll click on this run command. So it will start the development server, and then I can now view the live preview in localhost 3000. So I'll open it up and let's see. So this right here is the UI of the app that Cursor has created. And we didn't specify anything about the UI to both of these apps. And this is what both of the app generated in just a single prompt. And again, I'm not taking the UI sort of things into concern because you totally can edit and make and customize it however you want to. But in which case, it's now time to test the functionality of app generated with Cursor. So I have added the photo, and I'll click on extract text. It says processing image, and let's see what happens. Okay, I can see a progress bar. Processing. Okay, so there you go. We have the extracted text up in here, and I have the option to copy the same and also download the same in TXT format, and our app is indeed working, and we have that toast appearing in the bottom corner as well. So it seems like we have some problem with the app that Lovable has created, but no issues. Next up, obviously when you're developing an app using AI, not just Lovable but Cursor or any other AI for that matter, obviously AI will run into errors, and now all you gotta do is to just ask the AI to fix it. Now in this case, watch this. When I upload an image, it says extracting images, and it is kind of stuck. I've been waiting for the last 2 minutes, and it keeps loading and it just stops and the app is not working. So could you please look into the issues and fix it? And now I'll click on the send button. So when you encounter an error, you just tell the AI the same, and now the AI will take it up from there. Okay, and while that is being done, Yet another cool thing that I like a lot about Lovable is the fact that it allows you to add a backend and authentication and storage and API routes in the easiest possible way. So all you gotta do is to click on the Supabase icon towards the top, and after that you get an option called as Connect Supabase. You click on that one, and now it opens up a pop-up, and you can connect your Supabase project to this particular project on Lovable, and you can add a backend and a database and even authentication in just a single click. Once connected, you can simply say, I have connected Supabase, please add authentication, and hit enter, and Lovable will do it all for you. And again, if you want to create separate tables or let's say relations and then edge functions and all that, well, you just ask Lovable to do it. Lovable will write the SQL query, run it on Supabase for you, and Lovable does pretty much everything for you. So you don't have to directly interact with Supabase for adding, or let's say adding this full stack capability to your app. So you can add a database, authentication, storage, edge functions like API routes, everything will be handled by Lovable. And that is one good thing I like a lot about Lovable. But as far as Cursor is concerned, you can use Supabase or any other database for your app. You can have a separate backend if you want to, or you can even make use of the built-in API routes within your Next.js based project. And then you can add, let's say, authentication using Clerk or let's say Supabase or any platform. But the thing is that it is not as easy or intuitive or seamless as adding the same in Lovable. But is it easy, you ask? Well, it totally is. And now let's say adding a database and authentication using Supabase is pretty simple. You head over to their official website and you head over to the docs, and you can, let's say I want to implement authentication using Supabase. So I'll click on this option right here, and now I want to implement the same in Next.js. So I'll click on this option, and now I can simply copy this URL and open Cursor and input the URL in here. And I can ask the AI agent to follow the documentation that I just attached and then implement authentication into our app. If not, I can even head over to settings and then go to indexing and docs. And I can click on this option called as add docs and add Supabase docs in here, add the same. And here, as you can see here, I have already added Supabase database docs. So if I type the @symbol and if I type Supabase, as you can see here, we have Supabase. And if I select the same, now the AI agent within Cursor can refer to that Supabase documentation and implement a database or let's say authentication or whatever into our app. I know this is actually a good thing, right? If you're about to, let's say, use Lovable, the thing is that you're pretty much logged into the Supabase ecosystem. Whether for database, authentication, or storage, you'll have to stick on with Supabase if you want to get that seamless experience of Lovable applying all these migrations and everything else. But if you want to use a different one, you totally can. But again, it is going to be a little difficult. But yeah, that is also one more thing. And yet another cool thing is that after you develop an app within Lovable, you can actually publish the app in just a single click. So towards the top, you can find a publish button. And if I click on that one, it gives me an option to publish the same and even connect a custom domain in just a single click without me having to worry about any DevOps stuff. So that is also one more interesting thing. But don't worry, if you're about to build an app in Cursor, you can actually push all this content to a GitHub repo and then import the GitHub repo into Vercel and host it as well. So it will take you around, let's say, maximum 15 to 30 minutes to get used to the whole thing. And yeah, it is kind of a bit difficult when compared with Lovable, but get the job done. And again, you can host your application wherever you want to. And now seems like that part is now done. And now let me just try to use the Lovable app again, and hopefully it works this time. So I'll refresh it real quick. Okay, there you go. I'll drag and drop the image in here, extracting text from image. Okay, what's happening? Initializing OCR pipeline. Okay. Seems like we have some problem in here. Okay, it says OCR pipeline initiated successfully, processing image for extraction, but we don't really get the result. Okay, all I can see is 3 asterisk symbols. Okay, I'm not sure why that is happening, but if I want to, I can actually go ahead and let's say give another follow-up prompt. Now the thing is that Lovable is actually using some other package for processing the image. So we can explicitly ask Lovable to let's say use Tesseract, which is very simple and straightforward to use. It seems like still we have some error. So could you please use Tesseract.js for extracting the text instead? Basically, Tesseract is the NPM package that we used in our Cursor project. And now we are explicitly asking Lovable to use Tesseract.js for extracting the text instead. And hopefully that should work. And again, if I click on this invite button towards the top, you can also collaboratively work on the same project with multiple people as well. So that is also one more feature that you have within Lovable.dev. For example, let's say you could add your team member and collaboratively work on the same project, and that is something that you don't get with Cursor. And while you're developing an app using Cursor, you have an integrated terminal instance within Cursor, and you get total terminal access. So if you want to run any command, you can directly do it from here. And one important feature that is available in Cursor but not in Lovable is the background agents feature. So if I open Cursor, if I head over to cursor.com/agents page, as you can see, here we have something called as background agents. Now the idea here is that you can actually connect your GitHub repo to your Cursor account, and after that you can go ahead and give some prompt to this Cursor agent in here, and the AI will actually do all these changes and create a pull request and then add it to your GitHub repo. So let's say you are on a train or you're on a flight and you want to do something, or let's say you want the AI to do something, you can just give a prompt and get going. Now the AI will do it in the background, and once everything is done, it will create a pull request that you can review, and then if you want to merge it, you can do it, or if you have some different changes to make, you can actually do that. For example, I have connected one project in here. Just to show you a demo, I'll just ask the AI, could you please create a privacy policy page for this project and include the same? And now I can click on the send button. And again, I can also select the model that I want to use. For now, it says GPT-5. And here, as you can see, we have a new background agent started and it is now running. And it says create privacy policy page. And if I click on the same, I can now see what's happening here. So basically, Cursor is now spinning up a VM instance and it is loading the project from our GitHub repo, and then analyze the code base, look at the prompt that we gave, and then implement exactly what we asked, and then create a pull request and add the same to your GitHub repo. So this is one important feature that is not available in Lovable, and it is only available in Cursor. And now if I head back to Lovable, it seems like it has switched to use Tesseract, and hopefully it will work now. So let me refresh it again and try to, let's say, upload the image, extracting text from image. Let's see. Okay, so there you go. Here we have the extracted text content and it works, right? So maybe I can show you the image that I uploaded. So this right here is the image that we uploaded. So Mrs. Russell shook her head. Yeah, there you go. I know it sounds lovely. Darling. Yeah, it works. And now as you can see, Cursor background agent is now analyzing the entire code base to find what the project is based on, what are the existing code it have, what are the project structure, and after that it will create a privacy policy page. So basically this right here is a Next.js based project is what I believe. So it will obviously create a new folder and then a page.txx file, populate with content. Yeah, it is now creating a /privacy root. And now the thing is that you don't have to actively monitor this. You can just close this browser tab and get going. The agent will keep doing the same in the background, and once completed, it will open the pull request for you. So that is one important feature that I found extremely useful in Cursor, where you can actually do something else while the AI is doing something, important for your project. And now it is reading all these layout.tsx files, page.tsx file, and it will create all the file. While that is being done, another cool thing about Cursor is that Cursor recently launched something called a Cursor CLI, which is something similar to Claude Code, which is like a CLI where you can use Cursor agent, and it is out there as well. And the good thing is that you don't need a separate subscription to use Cursor CLI. It is actually part of the main subscription that you pay, and you can actually use both of them. And if you want to, you can run this particular command on your computer and install Cursor CLI. And in my case, I already have Cursor CLI installed. So maybe I can cd into the dev folder, and maybe let's say cd into finance. And if I simply type Cursor -agent and now hit enter, it should now launch Cursor agent, and there you go. This right here is Cursor agent, and if I ask a question, what is this project about, and if I hit enter, as you can see, it says generating. It will analyze the project that we have and then give us a response, or if you ask it to make any changes, it will do it. And like you can ask the AI to sort of make some changes, add new features, fix bugs. You can use Cursor CLI. And now, to be honest, I don't really understand the whole point of having a CLI tool like this while we have a full-fledged, editor out there. Like we already have a full-fledged Cursor AI editor that is an IDE. Then why would we need a CLI? And for me personally, I will only use the IDE because there's a lot of hype going around the CLI tools during these days, but I don't really understand it. I found using an editor like Cursor makes the whole process a lot easier for me to manage. I don't know why. I'm not even sure if I'm alone in this one, but I totally hate the experience of working on a project in a CLI like this, but if you're someone who loves it, you can totally use it. And as you can see here, we have the description of this particular project. And if I type /, I should be able to select the model that I want to use, create a new chat, resume a new chat. Yeah, we have all these options. For example, let's say if I click on this models option, I can select the model like Claude 4 Sonnet, 4.1 Opus, GPT-5. So you have total control and flexibility, and that's for Cursor CLI. So if you want to use Cursor CLI, you have total control over that as well. So there you go. As you can see, the AI has went ahead and created a new privacy policy page in our project. And yeah, this right here is the new file that it has created. It is basically a page.tsx file, and it has even given us the option to open a pull request. So if I click on this view PR option, it should show the same. There you go. Create privacy policy page, and it is currently a draft. And if you click on this open button, it will open a PR. And now if I click on this button right here, I can find the comprehensive list of all the changes that was made, all the files edited, all the new files, or let's say lines of code added, deleted. And if I feel like this is okay, I can review the changes and approve the same. Or if you want to, you can also go ahead and give follow-up instructions to Cursor agent to make changes as well. So that is basically how you use Cursor background agent. And one more important feature that I like a lot in Cursor is the support for MCP tools. So if I head over to settings, and if I go to, let's say, tools and integrations, we can connect various MCP tools to Cursor. For example, here I have already added TestSprite, ByteRover, and Supabase. So for my projects, like the projects that I work in, I'm actually using Supabase for database authentication and stuff like that. And now here I have added the Supabase MCP tool. And now if I want to directly interact with Supabase, I can simply go ahead and give a prompt like create a new table in my database, and you can use Supabase MCP for this. And I can give a prompt something like that, hit enter, and now Cursor will use the Supabase MCP tool. Or let's say I want to add a memory layer into my app, I have added ByteRover. Or if I want to test my software, I can use TestSprite as well. So if you want to extend the capabilities and functionalities of Cursor, you can add MCP tools, and it has full support for MCPs, and Lovable does not really have support for MCP. So that is one more thing. And again, if you want to, you can also use the background agents within Slack as well. So you can add the background agent to Slack, and now you can open Slack, mention the background agent, and give a prompt. And now the same thing that we did earlier applies in there as well. Basically, it will spin up a new agent and do something in the background and create a pull request, which you can review, and you can take it up from there. So basically, this is the flow of creating an app, or let's say using Lovable and Cursor. And depending on who you are, what you want to accomplish, and what is your technical expertise, the best option for you will change a lot. And now if you ask me which is the best option for me and which is the one that you should be using, I will tell you that if you are a non-technical person and you have no clue about coding, and if you want, maximum abstraction as possible, then your best bet would be to use Lovable. But that is not to say that you can't use Cursor or anything. The learning curve can be a little difficult, and getting started with Cursor, or let's say if you want to, let's say, deploy your project or add GitHub or add Supabase integrations and all that, it can take a little bit more time, but it's completely doable. But the only thing is that it's not going to be as easy as using Lovable. So that is the whole point that I'm trying to make. And on the other hand, if you're someone who want to build, let's say, mobile app, or you want to create a Next.js based project, you want to explore various third-party tools, you want to work with MCP, you want background agent support and all that, then the obvious option is to go ahead and use Cursor. Cursor is fully feature packed and it has a lot of stuff. But the thing is that the layer of abstraction is too thin. So you have to have some kind of technical knowledge to proficiently use Cursor is what I would say. So yeah, by now I have actually shown you various different major features within both Lovable and Cursor, and now you can take a decision for yourself. If you're an absolute newbie, no clue about coding, Lovable might be the best option. Or if you want maximum control, full versatility, option to create mobile app, web app, whatever you want to, then Cursor might be a good option. And now before I wrap up, I'll also show you the pricing for both of these platforms as well. And now here I have opened up the pricing page of both Cursor and Lovable. And as you can see here, we have a couple of plans in here. And by the way, Lovable actually have a free plan. So if I open it up in a incognito mode, as you can see, they have a free plan that gives you like 30 requests, or let's say credits per month, in which you can use 5 daily credits completely for free without paying. So you can actually test the water. In a similar fashion, Cursor also have a free plan called as Hobby Free, which gives you pro 2-week trial with limited agent request and also limited tab completions as well. And now as far as the rest of the plan is concerned, we have a pro plan up in here. Okay, so for 100 credits, you will have to pay $25. For 200 credits, you will have to pay $50. For 800 credits, you'll have to pay $200, or 400 is $100. And then if you want 2000 credits, you will have to pay 480. Then we have a business plan and also a enterprise plan as well. And now as far as Cursor is concerned, the pro plan starts at $20 per month. Then we have a ultra plan for $200 a month. Then teams plan at $40 a month, and also some custom enterprise plans as well. And now as far as pricing is concerned, Cursor pricing can be a bit of a difficult one for you to digest. Now that they have moved to API usage based pricing, the thing is that you get at least $20 worth of API usage included within this $20 plan, and mostly it could be in the range of, let's say, $20 to $40 is what I've seen. So basically the idea here is that depending on the token consumption, the amount of credit it uses per request will differ and vary a lot. If you go ahead and ask the AI to make a full-blown app in a just single prompt, it will go ahead and write a lot of code and output a lot of token. So obviously you will have to spend a lot more for that particular request. Or if you give a simple prompt, like let's say for example make a change, or let's say fix a bug or something which is very small, then the amount is going to be, or let's say the API credit is going to be on the lower side. And now pricing in Cursor is actually a tricky one. You will exhaust this $20 really quickly, and then you'll have to move to usage based pricing. It is actually pricey is what I would say, but yeah, you have options for that, and this is the pricing for both of these. And now that's pretty much all I wanted to show you in this video. So both Lovable and Cursor are AI powered coding tools that you can use to build cool apps just by prompting. So all you gotta do is to explain exactly what you want to build, hit enter, and the AI will build it out for you. And now depending on your technical expertise and also exactly what you're trying to build and the individual features available within both of these platforms, you can take an informed decision. And now that we have covered most of the good features within both of these platforms, you can take an informed decision and get going from there. I know that's pretty much all I wanted to show you in this video. And now I hope you guys found this video useful. If yes, make sure to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.